What? Oh man. What? Oh man. My bad, yo. Oh, my bad, yo. My bad, yo. Oh, my bad, yo. It's cracking, man. We in here, man. My bad, yo. My bad. Oh man. Rough couple of days, man. Been a rough couple of days, man. Been a rough couple of days, yeah. Sorry, man. Shout out to Pamela Henderson, man. Pamela Henderson. Salute to Pamela Henderson, man. Shout out to Pamela Henderson, man. Super PC. Oh man. Whew. I apologize, man. Salute to you guys, man, for hanging around, man. Salute to you guys, man. We gonna get a great show in tonight, man. I didn't sleep a wink last night, man. I didn't sleep a wink last night. Messed around, got into today, and just cleaned the whole house, top to bottom. My wife mostly cleaned the whole house, top to bottom. It disinfected everything. Disinfected everything. She's doing better, man. She's doing a lot better, man. Disinfected everything. She's doing a lot better, man. A lot better. Praise God. Sun man just hit the wall, man. A sun man just hit the wall, man. Sun man hit the wall, y'all. The sun man hit the wall. Yeah, the wall is okay, man. Yeah, daughter's doing a lot better, man. I'm going to show y'all a picture of my daughter soon, man. I'm about to show y'all a picture. Shout out to Andy Armour, man. What's up? Oh, man. Let's get it cracking, man.
Two teenagers now in custody for the killing of a store security guard. That shooting happened in the center of downtown last night at a CVS pharmacy. That guard, a father of three, our Ashley Moss, speaking with those family members.
He will always try to make a joke out of something, and it will still be corny.
Emotions are raw at the home of Anthony Aganu. His family still stunned by his death.
I will always be bruised from this situation because my dad is no longer here, or he's not coming home.
That's Amari and Jada, Anthony's daughters. Anthony Aganu worked as a security guard at a downtown Dallas CVS. He was shot and killed as he confronted shoplifters leaving the store. In less than 24 hours, two young suspects are in custody. They're not identified because of their ages.
They made a choice, and they made a choice to leave us hurting, grieving, in pain, never to ever lay eyes on a person that we love very much. I didn't get to say goodbye. We had to look at him through a glass.
As his wife of 8 years sits surrounded by friends and family, Octavia says they'll lean heavily on their faith for closure.
This family is wounded. We are going to make it through because we serve a Savior who's already conquered.
I know that the Lord is not going to allow us not to have justice.
Anthony will be the second son Gwendolyn has lost to violence.
It tells me in the Word of God that when I say that I'm weak, I can say that I'm strong because God carries me when I can't carry myself.
The second son she's lost to violence. Man, this is different though. This is like different though. Like this ain't street stuff. This is like nigga stole some little sun turds. Just Jesus Christ.
And right now, I'm not carrying myself. I know God is carrying.
In Dallas, Ashley Moss.
Shit's sad, man. Fucking sad, man. Yeah.
CBS News, Texas.
Anthony's family says before that shooting, he was up for promotion in that job he had. He would not actually have been required to actually not work at that store as a result of his promotion. But again, it was last.
Developing this morning, we're continuing to follow news out of Jacksonville's west side, where police are still looking for the people responsible for killing a 7-year-old boy and injuring a 21-year-old man.
You know they was black. When you hear that story, you know they was black. You don't even have to fucking guess. You know those niggas was black. There's no doubt, 100%. 100% black.
His mother identified the young boy as Breon Allen.
And this deadly shooting happened just after 5 yesterday afternoon on Commonwealth Avenue in the Robinsons Addition neighborhood. News4Jax spoke with Breon's mother about her son and her message to the shooters.
He was a happy child, very happy child. He was a superstar. He played football, very well known through the city.
Very well known through the city at age 7 for playing football? Damn. Tell me you live in a fucking hood without telling me you live in a hood. 7 years old. A superstar in football in the city. Dead in the street. Shout out to Douglas Chunks, man. Salute to Doug Chunks, man. Shout out to Doug Chunks, man. Douglas Chunks supporting the channel, man. I know I was late, man, but salute to Douglas Chunks, man, and Palmer Henderson for supporting the channel, man. Even though a brother was late, man. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, man. Match Douglas Chunks, guys. Let's see if we can match Douglas Chunks, man. Let's see if we can match Douglas Chunks, man. Everybody take the challenge, man. Take the pledge. Support the channel. Look at this guy, man. Look at this shit, man. Look at this shit, man.
Developing this morning, we're continuing to follow news out of Jacksonville's west side, where police are still looking for the people responsible for killing a 7-year-old boy and injuring a 21-year-old man. His mother identified the young boy as Breon Allen.
And this deadly shooting happened just after 5 yesterday afternoon on Commonwealth Avenue in the Robinsons Addition neighborhood. News4Jax spoke with Breon's mother about her son and her message to the shooters.
He was a happy child, very happy child. He was a superstar. He played football, very well known through the city, you know.
Kashina Love. Kashina Love. Kashina Love. What's going on, man?
Yo, what up, Chief?
Kashina Love, man. 7-year-old superstar, man. Do y'all have superstars like that? Like football superstars in y'all community at age 7?
Yeah, the real football, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
What's up with the Redskins, Chief? It's a
Tomorrow,
W
man,
or what?
It's cracking. Yeah, W, man. It's cracking tomorrow. One more point than they score. I don't know how much. I don't know the score, but we're going to score one more point than they do.
Yo, I hope so, man. I'm not going to lie to you. I like their quarterback. I think Daniels, right? He looked like a good dude.
We'll see, man. We'll see, man. Tomorrow's the day, man. Tomorrow's the day, man. It ain't no more talking. I'm done talking. Yeah, man. 7-year-old dead, man, in the streets of Blackistan. Not a peep.
Man, I wish it was a major issue, man. I really wish it was a major issue.
Yeah, man. This is so sad, man. 7-year-old man had he was already a football star, dead. It's Kashina Love, man. What a name. What a name.
Well, very well known through the city, you know, because of his stats in football. I just need you to speak up. That's it. I just need you to speak up and come forth with some names, some information, whatever you know.
Here's the thing, man. This woman just lost her 7-year-old son, man. And she got a long road ahead of her, man. A long road ahead of her. I can understand her right now. She's in the daze. Like this family, the other family, they at least had like, I think, a few hours. It had happened last night. This just happened. she's in a daze, man. She don't know up from down. She probably got vertigo, man.
Yeah.
Just sad, man.
I can't even begin to literally imagine what she's going through.
It's just, you just feel for her, man, because the embarrassment too, because she's one of those. If she's a sister, my community, Trump is trying to do this to our community. I'm raising a black boy under the Donald Trump era. I gotta hold him close because the police is and all the bullshit that black women talk. You know what I'm saying? And for this little nigga to get blammed and left in the street, I'm talking about Scarface style. His shit was, it was like a gangland type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, look, I missed. Was it a straight bullet? Was it a targeted hit?
Nah, they didn't say nothing about it. A 21-year-old also got shot. So I'm assuming they were after the 21-year-old. But he got hit.
Yeah, no, everything you said, man, it's very well said, because I just don't understand, like, the cognitive dissonance that it takes for that, to be able to entertain the bullshit narratives when there's a meaningful narrative in front of us, right? Like innocent people, lives being ruined by nonsense, and we have to talk about police X, Y, and Z. I just don't understand it.
Next Trump, he's come after the migrants. He gonna come after black people, man. They really doing this so they can come after black people and all this bullshit these niggas is talking about now. And then boom, some niggas like literally run up and your son and shit, your 7-year-old son in the street.
Yeah, and even more than like the cops and Trump, right? They'll show love to the offender. How the offender was probably, had trauma or some nonsense, right?
Yeah, definitely. She 2 lives have been lost tonight. Yeah. Yeah. That shit, yeah, all that shit. Yeah, but this is just what's going on?
What's good? This that Jacksonville one?
Yeah. Oh, you know about this? Hey, Rudy got a lot of noise, man. But go ahead. What's up? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, this that Jacksonville. That's supposed to be one of Young and Ace's homies.
The 7-year-old or the 21-year-old?
The 21-year-old. He a rapper. His name Main Target.
You lying like shit? Crazy, man.
I'm not lying, bro.
His name is Main Target?
Yeah, his name is Main Target, his rap name.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
It fit him.
Fuck out of here.
It writes itself. He was the main target, but he ain't dead yet.
Nah, man. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Yo, I'm not.
You
I'm
blaspheme. Don't come on my channel blaspheming like that, man.
That's a hell of a name right there, Main Target.
Bro, I'm not even playing, bro. His name is Main Target.
Video footage showing the events leading up to the shooting that left Jacksonville, Florida rapper NHG and ATK affiliate Main Target in critical condition, along with a 7-year-old getting shot and killed in Jackson. What the fuck?
Somebody down or some shit. Oh, that kid dead or some shit. He not breathing. You see him on the floor? Oh shit! You don't see him on the floor?
None of these niggas know the first thing to do to help save the child's life, even if he was alive.
You can't go nowhere. Somebody behind him. Yeah. Oh man.
Backyard shows what appears to be a man and a boy walking down the 2200 block of Commonwealth Avenue Friday evening. Video then shows what police believe to be a dark-colored Kia Soul drive toward them. Then this.
Shot that little boy. Damn, gangland.
Man,
That's crazy.
To be
They
a
go off
dark-colored
screen.
Kia Soul.
They go right behind the screen right here. So they walking this way. And here comes
Drive
Kia
toward
Soul.
them. Then this.
Ooh,
damn.
More than 40 gunshots can be heard.
40. Oh shit, they still shooting. Oh shit. At a 7-year-old.
That you think about that. You think about 40 round shot. You hear how they're shooting. Da, 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 da. 40 times, Chief. Not even a switch.
Yeah, I was gonna say they did it the old fashioned way, man. They ain't even have a switch.
Broad daylight. No care in the world.
Right. I mean, look, I'm just saying, like you said it yesterday, bro. Like, who has it in them to just pop out and put in that work, right? 40 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And not care, like, and then to like sleep that night if you don't, because this ain't the first time they done it. So they've done this times of going to sleep that night and went outside the next day. So they think that in their mind, this is going to be another time where we go out, where we go to sleep, or even if we hide out a little bit, it's still like, everything will be all right at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't think I have it in me. Like, really thinking about it, reflecting on it, I don't think it's in me to do that, man. I don't know. And then on top of that, they killed a 7-year-old kid,
Now to see the 7-year-old, y'all pulling up with the intent to do it. You see the 7-year-old, and it don't change nothing. You still let off 40.
I don't think I have it in me. I'm not even gonna cap.
Yeah, man. That's why jail, prison is a bunch of them niggas. And it's like, yo, do you really want to go to prison with a bunch of those niggas? Do you really want to go to prison with a bunch of these niggas?
It's like, you can't compete, bro. You can't compete.
Jeez, do you want to go to prison with a bunch of these niggas? Yikes.
Then this. More than 40 gunshots can be heard.
Wow. They got out. They got out and stood over. That's getting out. The pauses is getting out and running up. Because they were like, in the last video, they were like, they faced him. The 7-year-old got faced.
I wonder if you listen closely, can you hear the door shut? Because that's like when I've been seeing it. Like, listen close.
Dark-colored Kia Soul. Drive toward them. Then this. More than 40 gunshots.
They might not slam the door. They might leave them motherfuckers pop. They might leave them bitches open.
Can be heard.
Because I don't think they slam the doors like that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe when at the end.
Investigators say a 7-year-old boy was killed and a 21-year-old man suffered serious injuries. We've learned from the family.
They edited
the boy's name is Breon Backyard. Shows what appears to be boy was killed and a 21-year-old man suffered serious injuries. We've learned from the family that the boy's name is Breon Backyard. Shows what appears to be a man and a boy.
Shit. So the little 7-year-olds with this kid. So that 7-year-old was going down the wrong path anyway. But that's just the way they live at, man. That's just the way that's their lives. That's the lives they were destined to lead wherever they from.
Damn.
Main target. That was his little brother. They killed his little brother. They didn't give a fuck. They didn't give a shit. They killed main target. That's the type of hate they be having for each other though. They be like,
right.
It be crazy like that.
But I mean, think about it, right? You said main target, he didn't die, right?
Nah, he ain't
Nah.
critical though. He got
So
shot multiple times in the head or some shit.
so main target and them, they gotta go back. It's like you know, there's no
Without a
choice
doubt.
but to go back.
Yeah, they
Yeah, if
already
you go
posted
back,
about it. They already been posting about how like, hey, we got to kill for you, shorty.
I mean, are they necessarily wrong? I can't lie and say that I don't understand that sentiment because this is horrendous, man. You know, but it's a
nah,
vicious cycle.
they ain't fucking wrong. It's just shit, man. That little boy, this motherfucker got 948 followers on, maybe more on Instagram, but probably not much more. His last post is, "Hoes be thinking they got the ups on me, bitch. You even know I'm finna to have a baby on you, dumbass hoe." Ah, just he said, trying to get richer than ever. He said, "I'm a born ass nigga. All I want to do is get money."
Who posts this?
This is main target.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
But you're right though. It seems like that little kid was going down, that path.
That's his brother, though. You know what I'm saying? That was his brother. So, you can't, he got to be associated with his brother. Mm.
Well,
Wow.
I got a question though, man.
What's up?
If somebody does your family like that, right? Whack, shoot your little brother, man. You gonna let the court system handle it, or you gonna go out there and get it on your own, man?
Y'all, it be like a lot of people think that everybody's capable of doing something like that.
Yeah.
Like everybody just ain't capable of, getting vengeance and the street justice and shit like that. A
That's
lot
a
of people don't
street
have that
nigga.
in them. Yeah, now
That's some
street
street
dude,
niggas, too.
yeah, like they going for it. But like a regular person with a 9 to 5 that went to school and all that other, man, they don't even know where to start to do a hit like that. They get their stupid ass killed.
Yeah, definitely get pulled over and shit with a bunch of shit. See, here's the thing, too. Them not caring and them being wild like that, it kind of like protects them in a certain way because they got an energy about them that where the cops probably never around when they do shit. Just because they just so reckless with a you, man.
You thinking cautious. Like, what you gonna do? So these motherfuckers already got stolen guns. They go steal a Kia. They do the shit in a stolen Kia. They probably dump all their stolen cars in the same spot. Now, since they didn't kill this 7-year-old, they about to torch this car. This car gonna be set on fire somewhere. It's just like, bruh, like you would think like a regular person is capable of doing that shit, but in all actuality, you got to be a reckless motherfucker and basically a pro at this type of shit. Even though they gonna probably get caught because they probably stopped on their way to get some fucking cigarillos or some shit. It's just like, I don't know, bro. I just can't see regular people going through with something so heinous,
Yeah. Cause you gotta hop out, you gotta blam that shit, and you gotta fucking be willing to like just go away forever. You gotta be willing to just sit down or lay down in prison with a bunch of assholes forever.
All right, and your whole life you've been a law-abiding citizen, and this the one, and now you about to sit in there with them motherfuckers for 2 first-degree murders, and you done killed somebody little brother because you was trying to get back. Man, motherfucker ain't willing to do that shit. Take your ass to court and motherfucking sit at the stand and give your character statement.
Yo, in a way, I could kind of blame the gliders for this, right? In that the system is too slow. If it was more swift, maybe people will be more accepting of it, being more patient with it. But it drags on so long that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Gotta blame the gliders.
I mean, why you gotta blame the gliders, man? What happened when the gliders used to take a motherfucker out and hang him from a rope, dude? You know,
man, because fuck gliders, that's why, bro.
You know, you blame the gliders, man. But they used to take a motherfucker for stealing horses and hang him from a fucking tree, dude.
Yeah, it's glider society definitely makes this stuff less prevalent than it is, because it just a Negro society. What's to stop them from shooting? Who's coming to stop them from shooting? Those dudes got the fuck up out of there because they know the white man police is coming.
No, because he was a baby. He didn't ask for none of this.
And News4Jax obtained surveillance video showing a man and a little boy walking across the section of Commonwealth Avenue. As News4Jax reporter Eric Avane shows us, moments later, the shooter's vehicle is seen driving up, and then gun violence erupts.
After this section of Commonwealth Avenue became a major crime scene, a nearby neighbor who asked to remain anonymous told News4Jax what she saw.
There were two people that were coming out of a black vehicle, either a Scion or a Kia, passenger and driver. Passenger looked like to have a shotgun, and the driver looked like to have a handgun, and they were opening fire on what looked like 2 to 3 individuals in the front yard of the house.
What was your reaction seeing that play out?
I lived here for almost a year, and I've never seen or heard anything like that. So
that's nothing to brag about, to have lived somewhere for a year and never seen something like that.
Yeah, that's really not that bad. Hey,
salute to Eddie Allen.
She said the driver hopped out.
Yeah,
they
sounded like it.
They hated him.
Yeah, it sounded like it, man.
And one had a Draco, probably. That's probably what she thought.
Yeah, it wasn't no shotgun. Salute to T Money, man. T Money.
Bro, you understand, Jacksonville, bro, they be catching people too.
Yeah, them dudes they wicked. Like, their rap beefs are wicked. They wicked. Like, they traveled to kill that one boy, Julio. They traveled to Tampa to kill him.
To Tampa to kill him, yeah.
And think about it. All those niggas got arrested in, like, straight up 1080p. It was a big deal. The fans
they did a whole video on them.
And it don't mean nothing. It ain't changed nothing. Nobody like, damn, I don't want that.
Right, you would think that'd slowed it down. Like, man, you seen that video of them, man? That shit was HD as fuck, bro. That's embarrassing. Ain't no shame in this shit. Let's just pull up and shoot the shit out of a 7-year-old in broad daylight with a rifle.
Well, keep drilling and be proud, because we killed that nigga little brother. Now he gotta come back. Now he a bitch if he don't do nothing and shit like that.
I wonder what he did to them. He did something, but I wonder what it was.
Talking online or just being part of a crew. Like, we know for sure his crew killed some of them, and we know
maybe
for sure
he did too, though. Maybe he himself put in work.
But let's say he didn't, right? Let's say, but his crew killed some of them, and he was fucking laughing and bragging about that shit and rapping about it.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, but what I'm saying is, with that said, is I wonder what it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Salute to T Money. Says, for Ock. Hope the daughter gets well in the panel. 3 of the best here. Salute. Yeah, my daughter's doing a lot better, man. Salute.
It was kind of a shock. Of course, I immediately called 911, tried to report everything and get somebody out there. Luckily, before I was even off the phone, there was a sheriff on scene.
In the upper left-hand corner of this surveillance video, a man and a small child are recorded walking down Commonwealth Avenue when moments later, as they walk out of view, a dark-colored vehicle believed to be a Kia Soul drives up, Then we hear gunfire. Police say a 7-year-old boy was fatally shot. They also say a 21-year-old man who is related to the boy was also hit by gunfire and was later listed in serious condition. According to investigators, the man is believed to be associated with a local gang. Now, although no other people were reported injured, investigators say multiple homes along this strip of Commonwealth Avenue were damaged during the shooting.
Eric Avignon, Channel 4, the local station.
New information tonight after a man was set on fire in downtown Jacksonville. Police say 54-year-old Michael Smith set a homeless man in a wheelchair on fire. That man is now in critical condition.
Jesus Christ.
Goddamn gliders in Jacksonville fucking up the entire city.
Right, gliders do it too.
Yeah, that's a rough one though, man.
That's because it don't never get cold in Florida, man. It's hot all year round, man. Them motherfucking people are crazy, man.
Salute to Deluxe 247, aka Cal Ripken, aka the real MVP, coming through once again. Shout out to Gene B, man. Gene B in the building.
Just a few hours ago, Smith made his first appearance in court, and News4Jax reporter Eric Avignon broke the story last night. Eric, you were allowed to view surveillance video of what happened.
Yes, I viewed that video hours ago, and I can tell you that it was recorded from a nearby business that had a really good view of the corner here of Main Street and Union Street. Now, in full disclosure, I was only allowed to view the video. I was not allowed to make copies of that video. But in that video, you don't see the victim being set on fire. However, you do see what appears to be a commotion in the spot right where I'm standing. And then all of a sudden, you begin to see a lot of people running across the street from Main Street to this location to help put out the fire. You also see multiple people in vehicles stopping in the middle of the street, getting out of those vehicles and to come over and to help and render aid.
Salute to all those white people, man.
Then you see a combination of police and firefighters coming to this location right before the victim was taken to the hospital.
This was the scene Tuesday night after we arrived shortly before 11 p.m. Crime scene tape blocking the corner of Main Street and Union Street. Police say around 9:50 that evening, 54-year-old Michael Smith Jr. used a flammable liquid to set another man on fire. The victim suffered burns so severe to his body that he had to be flown to a burn center in Gainesville. I spoke with multiple people off camera who knew the victim. They say he is home.
That white boy was hanging on in this spot, man, with all these damn Haitian refugees and shit. And these
who knew the victim. They say he is homeless and is wheelchair bound. I also spoke to an employee of a nearby store who says the victim was a regular customer. She says fights are common downtown, but
not used to nobody getting burned down here.
She also saw the surveillance video and commends the Good Samaritans who came to the victim's aid.
That was a good thing, you know. He's on fire.
News4Jax cameras followed JSO to the corner of State Street and Pearl Street around 11:15 last night after one of the officers announced the suspect had been located. It was at this location where Smith was immediately taken into custody for questioning and eventually charged with attempted murder.
I'm gonna tell you what happened. I've been living here for about a year, man, and I ain't never seen nobody get burned.
I'm gonna tell you what happened. I'm gonna tell you what happened. See, the white man went to score some fucking dope, right? The glider went to score some dope. And they beat him on the dope, and he was all geeked out. And he's like, "I'm gonna burn your motherfucking ass," and he burned him, dude, because he was all doped out.
Probably so. But the dude in the wheelchair could have been selling dope too. But
They're both homeless. That's some homeless shit.
That dope shit ain't no joke, man. You get sick off that shit. Let's see. Man.
Promises made, promises kept, with President Trump taking immediate action on his top campaign focus, fighting illegal immigration. From coast to coast, ICE agents going city to city, sometimes door to door, tracking down the nearly 1.5 million undocumented set for deportation. And as ICE closes in on migrants, once vibrant Chicago neighborhoods are now turning into ghost towns. And tonight we are taking you to a neighborhood that has gone silent.
Like I said from day one, no one's off the table.
The Trump administration setting out to execute what it has promised.
We arrested 1,300 people. Over 1,000 of them were criminals.
Immigration and customs enforcement operations reportedly underway in jurisdictions all across the nation. Federal agents have been spotted in many sanctuary cities carrying out these operations.
I hope the sanctuary cities come around.
The usually bustling and vibrant streets of this Hispanic neighborhood in Chicago sit relatively empty because of the concerns over ICE.
Welcome to Mesquite Restaurant, sir.
This little taqueria, like most in the Pilsen neighborhood, is owned and operated by immigrants. The Cruz family, who in 1994 made the long journey from Mexico City to Chicago to grow their little taqueria.
See, like these people right here, if they got a little gang banging cousin, because you know that every family do, right? And he came over, you know, to be with the family or whatever illegally, and he's hanging with the family, and they come over there to get him, and these people are there, and somebody in the family is also illegal. That's on that fucking gang banging cousin, man. That's not on the ICE. You know what I'm saying? Like November 5th, right? Was the day that you know, Trump and all this was declared. Like, okay, Trump won. He has a mandate. It's January 25th, 26th. This is a good question. Did y'all think he was joking? Wicked. Did on Ritos, you know, did they think he was joking? Or did he think he was like, or did he was just bluster or full of it or just talking big? Or what did y'all think?
You know what? I think, and I could be wrong, I think the Mexican hombreros thought he was talking about the Venezuelans that were out here getting free shit. You know?
You know, do any of y'all know what the cloud pivot strategy is, man?
No.
You never heard of the cloud pivot strategy to take down the United States of America, man? It's a communist manifesto of how to
bring in POC.
Just flood it with endless immigration and put them onto the welfare state to crush capitalism. Not that we live in a pure capitalist society, but this is all a strategy. That's why Cloud Piven released a paper in like 1959. Right. And then, in 65, they put what was that act in Congress to stop immigration from Europe and bring it from the third world is all part of the Cloud Piven strategy. Now, I was listening. Wicked, hold up real quick, brother. I don't want to cut you off. I'm going to let you go. I 100% was listening to you last night, right? And I agree with you, man. The little Filipino dude, shut the fuck up, Filipino dude. And you stay over there in your corner of the fucked up world, man. We got our own issues over here. But I also I'm like, I'm down. You got to run down on all these motherfuckers. Like, but I'm with you. I want to see the fucking illegal Chinese. I want to see them get the fuck up out of here because they're the most dangerous motherfuckers to this country, man. More than the fucking the Arabs. More than it is them fucking over 500,000 Chinese that came walking up. If there's some good documentaries out there about how, when they were coming through the Darien Gap, you had the Guatemalans and the El Salvadorians, and the Venezuelans coming up through the Darien Gap. But you also had a shitload of Chinese, and their shit was so NGO'd out by the country of China. Like I want them all out. I'm with you, Ak. I want them all out, man. All of y'all get the fuck out and do it the right way because my brother-in-law came in the right way. My stepmother came in the right way. You know what I'm saying? And those people who came in the right way and paid the money and did the time and took the tests, it took 5-10 years and about $10,000-$15,000 to do it. They hate this shit more than anybody, man. But I want to see these crackdowns in California. I want to see them Chinese motherfuckers get the fuck up out of here because they're the worst, man.
I was gonna say to you, as far as like the gangbanging cousin, right? I think even more than that, I think Tom Holman was very reasonable and clear, right? Let us into your jails, and we don't have to worry about any extra shit, right? And Brandon Johnson said no. He felt he was compelled to protect the violent criminals, right? So now, I mean, Holman told you what it was, right? Simple as that, I think.
Yo, I think they really thought that he was bullshitting though. Like I think that they, you know what I'm saying, politicians have been making so many like, you know, campaign promises and all this shit for decades and decades. And then they get in and they be like, all right, yeah, we're gonna focus on, you know, the economy and all this other shit. Like
but my
he
bad.
really hit the floor fucking running, bro. Like he really doing this shit.
Did. He definitely
Yeah, but
did.
see, and when Trump came out with this shit in 2016, right? And the media, you know, the media did what the media does. There wasn't no appetite for this, but I'm talking about they took a New York Times poll the other day. The New York fucking left-wing Times took a poll, and 83% of the respondents said get them the fuck out. And that's because you look at Chicago. Now they've been telling these brothers for 30 years, oh man, we ain't got no money, we ain't got no money, we ain't got no money. Then you bring in 1 million fucking people and give them every fucking thing they want because it's Ploward Pivot, man. They want to bring in new voters, and then you pissed off your base. You pissed off your base, and yeah, black folks still went. They still went out, but now the appetite is real, man. They got.
Yeah.
You have the populace, you have the American population. Like, when do you ever get 83% of Americans to agree on any fucking thing, especially the New York fucking Times? You know what I'm saying? Their readers, 83% of them said, get them the fuck out, man.
Hey, and then another thing with this too, when you was talking about like the Asians and you know what I'm saying, the other illegal races and shit like that. The reason why the focus is not on them is because the Venezuelans, the Haitians, the Guatemalans, the El Salvadorians, these motherfuckers been getting arrested and doing crazy shit since they got here.
Taking over neighborhoods and shit.
Bro,
I mean, look,
you know what I'm saying?
it's if you look, it's the Mariana boat lift from the 1980s on fucking steroids. And in 1980s, when the Castro emptied out his prisons and dumped all of them Cuban prisoners into Florida. It's the same thing, because if you look at the crime rate, El Salvador went from over 5,000 murders in 2017. Do you all know they only had 114 murders in El Salvador last year? You went from 5,000.
But that's because he's been locking everybody up, though. That's
I mean, yes, Wicked, you are right. 100%. He has cracked down, built them super prisons. But if you look at the Venezuelan crime rate and the Guatemalan crime rates, have all dropped because they did. I mean, Trump's not lying, dog. He's got.
But we don't know shit about Venezuela. We don't know shit about it. We don't have any communications with Venezuela. Who the fuck knows what they got going on?
If you don't think the CIA is knee deep in the whole fucking world, brother, man, they know everything, man.
Hey,
they know everything.
But I like the point that you made, that Crook just made, right? That's a good point as far as like who's getting locked up all the time, right? You don't really see the Sandman or the Tigers getting locked up like that. Now they have they have done something like, remember that one Sandman brother up north that tried to kill the Juice Crew?
Oh yeah.
Now that one was crazy, but the regular
Africa
everyday shit was the ones you said.
Yeah. It's just like, bro, the queues, like the lockups, every like South Side, North Side, West Side, is all filled with fucking Venezuelan, Guatemalan, El Salvadorians, bro.
So what they getting locked up for though? Like what? Like shoplifting?
Shoplifting, traffic, guns, rape, sex
traffic
crimes.
is big. Yeah, I know that.
It's just like, bro, it's everything, bro. It's like literally everything, bro. And it's just like 30,000, whatever. He always say the 30,000 Ukrainians that was dumped off here. Bro, if you didn't tell me 30,000 Ukrainians got dropped off here, I wouldn't fucking know because I don't see they ass.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about that, though, I mean, because that fucking dude is a pure Marxist, man. I can't stand that fucking guy, man.
Yeah.
But listen, the thing about it is, the real asylum and refugee program laws that are on the books, that if you're in a war-torn fucking country where there's a goddamn war, you're supposed to be able to run for relocation
to the adjacent one,
to a neighboring country, right?
Yeah. Guatemala ain't got a war going on, man. They're just coming up here for the free. There's no war. When y'all heard about a war in Guatemala?
Nah, but they're coming
That
out to
Brandon
work.
Johnson is always playing the goddamn race card, man. I can't
Yeah,
stand that
fuck
fucker,
him.
man.
Fuck him. Yo, all right, real quick, bro. And I'll end it with this, bro. I put a link in the back chat. Trust me, you're gonna want to play it whenever you get a chance. Trust me when I tell you
Taco
that.
stand into a thriving restaurant.
We got tacos. We got breakfast, chilaquiles.
This American dream is one thousands of migrants are striving for when they cross the southern border. But the drastic shutdown of illegal immigration is a campaign promise the majority of American voters are expecting Donald Trump to make good on.
Honest to you, when he come back again, I was like, man, I feel scared.
President Trump, border czar Tom Homan, and the highest-ranking members of Immigration and Customs Enforcement say they're only targeting violent criminals during these initial deportations. News Nation has seen what these operations look like. I rode along and conducted early morning raids with ICE agents when they arrested men from Iraq and Belize, convicted criminals who spent prison time for robbery and gun charges.
I'm not a criminal. I'm a good guy. I pay my taxes. I do everything right. You know what's going to happen to me? They're going to grab me too. You know? They're not going to check right now.
We've seen examples of resistance throughout Hispanic neighborhoods, including these signs instructing immigrant men and women to push back and block federal agents from entering their homes. But the reality is, new polling shows 65% of Americans strongly support deporting immigrants convicted of violent crimes. That includes Horacio Aguilera, an Iraq war veteran and Mexican-American police officer. He voted for Trump and wants mass deportations of criminals to carry on as quickly as possible.
A lot of Hispanic Americans, there was also a rise that voted for Trump. I think 9 out of 10 people that are living here in America, Chicago, Illinois, are going to agree that if you're an illegal resident and you are arrested for committing a crime, prosecuted for committing a crime, and you are an illegal resident, you are subject to deportation.
The so-called mass deportations have not been carried out in Chicago like people once believed. But that hasn't stopped local and state leaders from sounding the alarm and strengthening local codes which reinforce the city's sanctuary status.
We should stand up for them. That is the right thing to do. But he's trying to tear things down.
Governor, what's your response to people who might say that Democrats are the one sowing chaos, confusion, and fear-mongering when talking about mass deportations that haven't even happened in Chicago?
What are you talking about? They are literally threatening people all across the country. How can you say that we're overreacting somehow? We're not.
The Trump administration is vowing to investigate and prosecute local and state officials who stand in the way of what the federal government is doing. Natasha?
Yeah, Alex, with
Yo, any of y'all Chi-Town boys be happy if you seen Brandon Johnson get rolled up out of there in handcuffs?
Why now? You know the answer to that?
U.S. Marshals have captured a man accused of causing a fatal hit-and-run crash in Champaign County. They say the crash killed 2 young women from Chicagoland. WGN's Angelica Sanchez sat down with one of the victims' families. She's live in Glenview with their message tonight. Angelica?
Jackie, that's right. We spoke with family that reside here in Glenview. As you can imagine, they're absolutely heartbroken by what's happened. Their focus right now is getting justice for their daughter.
She was such a personality. She was so witty, so clever.
20-year-old Katie Abraham had so much ahead of her.
It's like it's not real. It's devastating. It's not anything you expect or prepare for.
Her father, Joe, and stepmother, Michelle, say they've been robbed of the light she brought them, her mother, siblings, and families.
She just brightened every room that she was ever in. It was this world will be a worse place without her.
Authorities say in the early hours of Sunday morning, Katie and her friend, 21-year-old Chloe Polzin, were among passengers in a vehicle at a red light in Urbana. They were killed after a vehicle rear-ended them at full speed. They were there visiting friends at the University of Illinois.
Our understanding is that he was an illegal immigrant, and as Joe mentioned, he fled on.
Just think about that, man. Because these feel like Democrats to me, man. Just think about that, man. These don't seem like people that look like they don't feel like conservatives.
I think they said they were from Glenview, right? And I know in Glenview, from what I understand, there's
Liberal as fuck.
but they got money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say they're liberal. I don't know to what extent though, but I know they got money over there.
And I just think about like everybody's talking about what's in the news and da da da. Just think about them like, turning their
Yeah.
nose up at conservatives and just judging, their characters like it's awful. They're going around and they're rounding people up. Oh my god! And then, yeah, hello, yeah, is this Katie's parents? Like, oh shit, man, could you imagine? Oh my god, these people, this sucks.
Yeah, I know they
Foot
feel
after the
stupid.
accident.
U.S. Marshal.
And then look at this guy, straight out
Look
of
at him.
Gaston.
And bro, and then the fact that these motherfuckers, bro, you talking about like nonchalant, like not giving a fuck, bro.
Yeah.
They don't care, bro. They're comfortable taking this mug shot and going to sit in prison in America and just fucking rot. They don't even have no remorse, bro.
Yeah, it's when they're drunk and they get arrested, but even after they sober up, there's no concept of like you just killed two people in the country you fled to.
So I mean, I ain't trying. I mean, listen, man. I listen to the show nightly, man, because I'm riding around in this tow truck doing my work. I'll say some funny shit sometimes. Sometimes I agree with y'all. Sometimes I disagree with y'all. But I just gotta ask, and I'm not wicked. Don't take this the wrong way. But them goddamn umbritos, man, they ain't got no fucking second thought about drinking. I mean, I pulled up on a car full of them the other night, man, about 2:00 in the morning. And they're banging their music, drinking Coronas like their mind had gone bad. The driver and everything, man. It's like,
Yeah.
what the
But
fuck, man?
look, man. I was just DUI earlier. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Salute to Barry B, man. Barry B in the building. Shout out to Barry B, man. Boy Kachina says Rubio will de-Castro Cuba, stopping new China missile base there. Cuba keeps Maduro and Ortega in power, so less convoys. Salute Ak in the nation. Oh, that's what Ricky Rubio's doing. He is the China ambassador. Okay, yeah, isn't he? Like Rubio's doing something with China. So this dude, Julio,
He's the Secretary of State.
Yeah, exactly. Julio Kukul Bowl.
Marshals tracked down the suspected driver in Texas. He's identified as 29-year-old Julio Cucolbol, a citizen of Guatemala. They say he was on a bus making his way to the southern border. Investigators.
Yeah, he was leaving. This is all you got to do to get him to leave. Sacrifice
Hey,
two
bro.
white girls.
Hey, all you gotta do
You need
is
two
kill
white
two
girls
of
to
them, bro.
sacrifice your lives.
Yeah.
Hey, this
Yo,
is bad, G. These motherfuckers be getting arrested so much, bro. I looked at his name and I knew he was from Guatemala. I can tell
Yeah.
now, like I can be like,
Yeah.
oh, that's a Guatemalan, or oh
Like
yeah,
those
that's a
weird, those little
Venezuelan.
weird
Oh,
names, right?
yeah, oh, that's a Colombian. I can tell the difference with these
Yeah,
motherfuckers
me
now, bro.
too. Me too. This guy here, his worst crime, I think, though, is trying to take the history of the brothers, claiming that he the Mayans. Nah, bro. Nah.
This guy, man. He now he wanted to leave. He was rushing to get out the country.
Now you can't leave.
Jesus Christ.
He fled on foot after the accident.
U.S. Marshals tracked down the suspected driver in Texas. He's identified as 29-year-old Julio Cucolbol, a citizen of Guatemala. They say he was on a bus making his way to the southern border. Investigators learned he was living in the United States under a false alias as a Mexican national. Due to the false identity, it's unclear if he had been previously deported. He now faces a string of charges related to the fatal crash, including reckless homicide.
We just want to ask that anyone who may have seen the defendant on, Saturday night, early Sunday morning, if they have any tips on where he was or what he was doing, it would really, help the case. So we please ask you to come forward.
For now, their focus is getting justice for Katie.
Justice to me would be the maximum in prison. I mean, I ideally like to see him in prison, the maximum amount the law has on the books, and then ultimately, once that's served, not be in this country anymore.
Once that's served, that's not the maximum. These white people are crazy.
ones are working on funeral arrangements. They do tell me that in this time of darkness, they are grateful for the efforts of local, state, and federal agencies that did manage to catch up with the suspect before he got away. Live in Glenview tonight, Angelica Sanchez.
That's
I
all you
mean,
got to do. That's
I
all you
bet
got to
they, I
do.
bet they big time Homan fans now.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Oh,
no. Even then, no. Even then,
Yeah, but you see there's been so much of that shit. That's how the country flipped on it, man. That's how the whole populace, like in 16, there won't no appetite for this shit. Right now, there's an appetite for this shit, and the more and more
people. Let me tell you about those people, though. Those people right there, they're the type to be like, it's still wrong what they're doing. I still don't support you because you know what I mean. You have to. It gives you an opportunity to see, like when you're a virtue signaler. This is literally like a golden opportunity to get on Facebook and
yeah.
write a think piece about how, even though Maddie is gone and
Damn.
never shine again, we still believe that majority of the immigrants coming across the border are not bad people, even though it's happened. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I hope
I don't.
not, man.
signal on
I hope not.
steroids.
I don't know.
I generally hope that's not the case. I hope that they are outright Homan fans.
Yeah,
Man.
it gives you just an opportunity, though. It's an opportunity to virtue.
Yeah, you make sense, man. You make sense, but I just hope
Yeah,
not.
but those are those not in my backyard liberals, man. Until it shows up in their
Yeah, I
backyard,
think
and
so.
then
I
they
mean,
flip.
that makes
You
sense
know,
too.
before their daughter was killed, they would have never said, "Man, get his ass out of here." They would
The
have been like,
Martha's
well,
Vineyard guy, liberals. Martha's
"Yeah,
Vineyard
yeah,
guys.
exactly, Wicked, exactly."
No, but they're not. That would be behind closed door. Publicly, though, they wouldn't say nothing like that. Publicly, they would. They would. Because you got to understand, liberals are hardliners, man. Liberals are hardliners. They don't play that both sides shit. They don't play, all right, I'll give you that, you're conservative, but well, what about this? No, fuck you, piss up a rope, eat a dick, fuck your mama. That's how they approach the whole situation towards conservatives. They play hardball, you know what I'm saying? It's never both sides.
I
That's
will never.
conservatives are the ones that, see both sides and shit.
I will never.
Good evening,
Understand
everyone. I'm Joe
that,
Torre.
I will never understand what the fuck was the Biden administration thinking when they opened the border like that. What the fuck were they thinking?
Listen, I want all y'all tonight, man. All y'all. I mean, y'all do your research, man. Go look up Cloward Piven, man, and you'll see it's not about.
But we've talked
Okay,
about that before. I'm sure you've heard fishermen. I mean, that's right up fisherman's alley. Yeah, we know this
Yeah. But I
concept
mean,
of.
it's what these power elites. It's the same way Nancy Pelosi will get up there and talk about the Constitution, and we're here to defend the Constitution, and a bitch will inside trade to the point where she's worth $500 million fucking dollars, man. They'll say whatever, they'll pay lip service to whatever. They got a plan, man. They got a plan for a one world fucking government. The Chinese, the China model with the mass surveillance and everything. That's where I mean, it's coming, dog. You see, it's like I tell everybody who's a Trump supporter, man, and like, you better hope for a good economy for a few years. You better hope the left gets out his way to make money, and you better work with your money, because he's already got the tech pros in there talking about we're going to have AI vaccines and AI this and AI rules the world. And I mean, the Chinese social credit score and surveillance system's coming to America, man. It's coming, man.
Let me move along. I don't know about that, but let's move along.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Joe Torres.
And I'm Tanya Rivero. We will get to those stories in just a second, plus details on a possible warm-up. But we begin with the search for an attempted rapist in Queens.
Police say this man put a handkerchief over a woman's mouth and threatened to kill her before he threw her to the ground in a back alley attack. A yell from a witness who says she saw the whole thing may have saved the victim's life. Here's Anthony Carlo.
It was in this dark alley next to garbage that a 32-year-old woman was thrown onto the cold, icy ground. A handkerchief put over her mouth. Police say the attacker threatened to kill her if she didn't give in.
I kind of lifted the window and I kind of heard someone say in Spanish, I have 3 kids. I have 3 kids.
Well, let me find out this was an illegal too.
Speaking exclusively with Eyewitness News, not wanting to be identified, the Good Samaritan who called 911 heard the cries from her house just before 6 Friday morning.
And as I opened my gate door is when I saw the person on top of the lady. And that's when I started yelling at him.
The Good Samaritan scared him off. This man, police say, caught on security video. The woman who witnessed the attempted rape tried to catch him herself.
I just ran after him, but I knew I
brutal.
wasn't going to make it because, I mean, first of all, I was not wearing the right shoes, and then it's slippery.
Now, it's still relatively early on in this investigation, but a police source tells me, at least preliminarily, it appears the victim had just gotten off a very late shift at a local bar or restaurant, and she was walking home, apparently cutting through this alleyway behind homes on 94th.
Jeez, cutting through an alley. Come on, y'all.
Street when she was followed and attacked.
She looked really bad.
The suspected attacker left her with one pant leg pulled down. Had someone not heard the cries, this may have been more than an attempted rape.
I will be happy that I was able to stop that, that I was there at the right time.
Tonight, Heide is not walking without a friend.
You know, people being aware inside their homes are also important because you can always try to help out any victims or anything that you hear.
A community watching each other's back until the suspect is caught. In East Elmhurst, Anthony Carlo.
Man, he looked like a straight up 100% hombrito. Oh my God.
You think so? I think he looked like a glider to me. You know?
He look hombrito, straight hombrito, dog. He might be from the motherland, Wicked.
Ain't no gliders in Elmhurst, Queens, Wicked, man. All the gliders in Queens are in Ozone Park and Howard Beach, man.
Oh, okay. I'll take your word for it.
Oh man. Let's see what's going on. Oh yes. Let me get to the main event, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Do y'all remember that story the other day with the white woman who saw the was getting followed? She thought she was getting followed by the truck because the truck was following her slowly, and she ran onto the porch and she pressed 1 if you remember that story. She ran onto the porch and it happened to be the black guy who was in the truck's porch, and he came up and she was like, "Oh no, you don't live here, and I don't believe you." And then she ran off, and now he's going on a tour of telling everybody that she's racist, and you know, this is that. Let me just
He's going on a world tour.
Oh yeah, he was on Nightcap. He was on sports shows and all types of shit, man. This guy right here.
No way.
This
He
guy
was
right
at
here,
Nightcap with Shannon.
What up, y'all?
Sharp?
It's the Morning Hustle with L'Oreal and Kyle Santillian. And listen, man, we have some guests in the building today who unfortunately have gone through an incident that we've seen play out far too often on social media.
When have we ever seen that? When have we ever seen a white woman?
Man, oh man, that's
and just in the United States in general. We have Michael here. Good morning, brother. How are you? Pretty good. All right. We have your wife Brittany here. Good morning. How are you? All right. And if you guys have not seen this video that's been
That
circulating,
dude, if he didn't have dreads, he would look like a white man.
yeah, I think so too.
He gotta have dreads, man, to show that he's black, man.
And
Right. Them shit's loose as hell at the top.
I wonder how to keep him so
on
tight.
social media platforms, there was a woman who came to your porch questioning whether or not this house was yours and what are you doing here, right?
On your porch.
On your porch. On your porch. Now,
It really didn't happen like that, but this he's everywhere. This dude is, because remember they apologized. The woman apologized immediately and they squashed it, and it happened in November, and now he's bringing it back up because Trump's in office.
Yeah,
this is
he's trying to get paid.
I know
Get your
starting
money,
that
son,
moment,
man.
well, just to give you guys an understanding of what video we're referring to. But can you take us back and tell us where this whole incident began? What didn't we see before the video started?
Everything was pretty much in the video. It was just a regular day of work, me coming home from one of my real estate projects I was working on. Man, when I get to the front of my house, there's this lady in the driveway with 2 kids, and it's perfectly normal setting for me because kids come in and out the house all the time. We got, open door policy to the community because I got kids in my house. So I'm thinking she looking for the door. So, I asked her, did she need help?
He left the whole part out where she was walking in the street and he was riding behind her at like 5 miles per hour.
Yeah.
And that's what made her that's what made her fear. That's what made her fear, her antennas go up. That's an important part to leave out. Not saying he was doing anything wrong. It was just a freak misunderstanding. Like you're a woman walking down the street, some cars following you 5 miles per hour for she said 4 ways, and then she pulls up beside you and asks you a question, and she ran up on the first porch. Obviously she was scared. If she ran up on the first porch, like whether she was justified in being scared or not, obviously she was scared.
I mean, think
You know
about
what I'm saying?
think about all the women we see on here getting killed in that same scenario.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's justified. It's obvious she was scared, and it's obvious she didn't know what race you were because you were in a big truck, tinted out truck behind her.
Or was she looking for someone and she didn't answer?
Okay.
She then proceeds to walk up my sidewalk to the front porch. So I pull in the garage, and I'm just going to pull in the garage and walk in the house because I'm like, okay, she found the front door. But she then proceeds to walk to the front of the front porch and stop me while I'm pulling in the garage and ask me, did I live there? And I said, yes, I do. She said, I don't think you live here. So I said, well, what are you doing here if you don't think I live here? Because at this point, I'm confused.
Right.
You know what I mean? And she says, well, I don't think you live here. And then, as you can see, she grabs her kids.
She grabbed one of them.
Right.
She left the other one. Oh, she might like one better. I don't know.
It's the video is real explicit in my eyes looking at the video, but it's another thing being the person that was actually there.
Right.
So she jumped off the porch, and once I start hearing her screaming at the top of her lungs for help, that immediately put me in fear.
Right.
Right.
Why did that put you in fear? Because the cops was going to come kill you. They was going to come see a octoroon and immediately kill you because a white woman screamed.
Bro, these people are evil people, bro.
Yeah. This whole narrative that a white woman having a bad interaction with a black person is so rare and so appalling to the senses of a police officer, not just a regular person, but a police officer never sees a white woman have a bad interaction with a black male. So it's like, yeah, oh fuck, no, I gotta use deadly force here. A black man in a bad interaction with a white woman, like, yo, that's literally one of the most common fucking things you're gonna see as a cop. Some fucking carjacking or some fucking street robbery or some fucking sexual assault or some fucking home invasion or some goddamn anything.
Because I know what that can do.
Right. This feel like a setup now.
Yeah.
This feel like a setup.
And mind you, did she look familiar? Because this is your neighborhood. I would imagine you know your neighbors or the people that live around, or you see certain cars over and over. Did you recognize her at all? Does she live close?
I mean, I designed the house, scratch, built it from the ground up.
with another dude's money. I know y'all saw the Brandon Tatum had the dude who he gypped for all the money on there today. The
Yo,
guy
I didn't see this video. Did he in the video? Did he have an opportunity to just walk in the fucking house?
Yeah, no. He had a. The video is on Twitter. It's let me just because he's gonna get into all the whole as a black man, seeing a white woman screaming, I thought of Jim Crow and da 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 da. He will get into all that. And I haven't even seen this interview. I saw the Shannon Sharp one, but I know that's where he's going.
I've never seen her walking down my street. People walk their dogs and stuff all the time. I've never seen her before.
That's crazy. So she runs off screaming, "Help, help, help." Right? All of this is caught on a Ring camera. This is how,
I
for the
wish
people
you
that have
would have
not
did it
seen
too.
the video.
I promise you. I know I'm not trying to make, but I wish you would have screamed help too, because the real victim is you.
You're the real victim.
Help to me.
Right. And the first thing I think about when her running off yelling help is that woman that did a similar thing in the park in New York. You remember that?
Yes. The bird watcher.
The bird watcher.
That's the one he references. They're referencing a fake incident.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I like the city by Karen, personally.
And didn't do nothing to her either. So now you're in fear because you're feeling like this could be set up in that way, right?
And nothing happened to that. The only thing that happened was that white woman lost her job and that black guy became famous. That's the only thing that happened in that last incident they're talking about. That white woman lost everything. She lost her job. She lost her apartment. And the black guy got all types of opportunities because he's a bird watcher and he was a photographer. And all the opportunities started pouring in for him to, make up for the fact that the white lady was scared that he said, if you don't put your dog on a leash, I'm going to do something you're not going to like. And she was like, oh shit, what? It started, she got scared. It's crazy. Unbelievable.
Well, first thing I did was rush in the garage and go inside the house
to
check on my wife.
Yeah.
She's in her office working. She didn't hear nothing.
No way.
She didn't hear the doorbell ring, nothing, because she's working. So at this point, I'm pacing back and forth. I'm paranoid. I said, babe, there's a lady outside just jumped off the porch. And she screamed at the top of her lungs for help all the way down the street. I don't know if the police going to come here. I don't know if I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? So I'm just pacing. She's pacing. We're opening the door just so we don't know if we're gonna get bombarded or what.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, because if a white woman screams, they just kick people's doors down without, you know what I'm saying? That's
all right, bro.
White woman comes up, says, "Hey, I was put in fear by somebody. Go kick his door down."
And it set up anything.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts when he comes to you and tells you what just happened outside?
Well, I didn't hear anything. I'm working.
Right.
It's quiet.
Mhm.
I didn't hear the doorbell ring.
But at that point,
I'm like, what? What are you talking about?
Right.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Screaming for what? Like what?
All right, they about to start lying because he's already been lying a lot. Like he left a lot of stuff out. But let me just show, and then I'm gonna get to the story in St. Louis that happened the other day. The real reason why white women are terrified at night when they walk the streets and they see a black dude.
What's going on? Do you live here? Yeah. You do? Papa. I don't believe that. What? I don't believe that. So what are you doing? Rory, come on. Rory, come on. Hey.
She ran off and left the stroller, and then And he's running around acting like he was about to die. But that stroller could hit him, though.
Did someone come here?
That was my wife. Somebody chased her up here. And she has kids.
Who chased her?
She said somebody in a silver truck.
Gray truck, and he came
So
around the corner,
I don't
and
know if you guys have a
I was in the street, and so I come up, and I just have my kids, and so I'm like gonna pretend that I'm coming home, and so I pull up and I start walking to your back gate, and he stops here and he goes, "Are you looking for someone?" And I said, "Nope," and then he sat here, and I was like, "I need to get in."
Well, that's my husband. That's why he lives here. Yeah.
Now, this is ridiculous, right? I'm not saying that the woman isn't like behaving ridiculously if you're him. If you're them, this is ridiculous. Like, yo, what the fuck? They don't understand why the white woman behave like this. I completely understand that. I understand the confusion on their part, what the fuck is going on. But the whole, this was a near death situation.
Bruh. This lady had no fear walking out and approaching them and talking to them. That's how you know it was no fucking fear about this shit. Like some people expect gliders to be. I guess they at this high fucking plateau or some shit, of perfection or some shit. Like it can't be no fucking crazy ass fucking glider lady that's just fucking retarded or some shit. She's a fucking idiot. You're fucking overreacting. All you have to do is just be like, "Hey, listen, we live here, bro. It's fine. Like, you can do whatever the fuck you gonna do, but I'm going to my house, okay? Here's your stroller. Please take your stroller back, ma'am." That's it.
Yeah. And then the woman apologizes, and she says she felt like a fool, and yada yada yada. And then 3 months later, November, December, January, they bring this shit back up and start going on a war tour talking about how she's racist. Let's see the story that I wanted to get into. Man, everybody hit the like button. Shout out to my man Chris G, man. Yeah, that's my boy Steve Kim. Yeah, Steve Kim on Fearless with Whitlock, man. Yeah, salute to him, man. It's yeah, man. He used all the lingo, man. He well versed in Akanese, man.
Yo, Ak, you see the joy they got out of telling that story?
Oh yeah, they loved it. I mean, listen. When you like Whitlock said, man. He said, finding racism is like finding gold. It's so rare in America. When you find some racism, it's like you struck gold. And these people are not going to pass up that chance, man, to show off this shiny piece of gold.
Wretching. It's been devastating to all of us.
A teammate and friend remembering Portia Rowland, the woman killed in Collinsville this week. Tonight, police now say this was a targeted attack. Tuesday morning, police say Portia was warming up her car when someone shot and killed her in her driveway.
And tonight, the person responsible still not found, but just over 24 hours ago, police released photos of the suspect. These images coming from surveillance cameras.
Oh, God damn, that's
looks like
Quantavious.
subhuman. What the fuck is that face?
Prowling out here, crouching down and shit. And if that woman would have screamed, she probably saw him and was like, well, I mean, maybe he's just, maybe he's just out looking for his cat.
Cameras of a neighboring home. And right now, the Major Case Squad is asking for your help identifying this suspect. Now, our Melanie Johnson is hearing more about the life lost from Portia's former teammate.
She was the best in all of us.
A girl with grit and a love for the game of flag football.
Portia was at every practice and was always one of the first ones there, last ones to leave.
Bridget Forney says Portia Rowland was like her little sister.
We're all kind of like family.
Both played for the team McLight in St. Louis. Portia was named an All-American in the league.
She was just that bright light that was out there, and now it's been taken away from so many people.
The 32-year-old was shot and killed Tuesday just after 6 a.m. in her driveway in Collinsville. Investigators released these photos of the suspect who they believe pulled the trigger.
We believe it was a targeted attack.
The suspect who shot Portia while she was warming up her car is still on the run. We asked police why the suspect was not considered a threat to the public in the start of their investigation.
It's just the progression of an investigation. As we develop more leads and more information, we can better hone in on what the circumstances were.
Or like, why? Why her?
As those close to Portia mourn her passing,
it's gut-wrenching. It's been devastating to all of us.
Collinsville detectives are working to solve the city's first homicide of 2025 to bring Portia's family and friends justice.
We're learning the same thing that everyone else is, which is that she was a true victim in this case and a wonderful person.
Portia's team plans to honor her on the field during the next game.
What they took away from so many people, just that light that brightened everybody's day.
Collinsville police want anyone with doorbell video or information on her murder to call their office or report anonymously to Crime Stoppers for a reward. Melanie Johnson, First Alert 4.
Major Case Squad, they have released pictures of a possible killer of a Collinsville woman. She was killed outside of her own home. This morning, they need your help to identify that person in the pictures.
Let's go to Fox 2's Chris Renier. He is joining us in Collinsville, Illinois. And Chris, that photo, not the clearest, but maybe somebody knows something.
Quite possibly, John, certainly potentially revealing for investigators, could be a big part of this case. The Major Case Squad calling the person in these images a suspect in this case. Some 30 detectives with the Major Case Squad headquartered here at the Collinsville Police Department for this investigation. The victim in this case, 32-year-old Portia Rowland, found shot and killed just outside of her own home. Take a look now at the pictures of the suspect provided to us by the Major Case Squad. You can see the person is dressed in dark clothing and appears to be holding a gun. The Major.
Is there anything else you can see about him?
It's the same photo. Nothing.
Is there anything else? Any other identifiers, markers about this guy?
Or maybe they're assuming this dude is just wearing a makeup.
Yeah, definitely.
Case Squad saying that as they follow up on several leads in this case, they do need the assistance of the public in getting the suspect identified. These photos could potentially be a major break in this investigation. The tragic and frightening murder unfolded early on Tuesday morning. Collinsville police responding to a home on Olive Street just after 6 a.m. following a report of gunshots in that area. When they got there, they discovered Rowland lying in the driveway near the garage of her home, suffering from a gunshot wound. Tragically, Rowland was pronounced dead at that scene.
A gunshot wound shows me that it's not personal, that it was probably a robbery. One gunshot wound. If that was her man or something coming to, end her life because, some jealousy or some bullshit, one bullet ain't going to do the job. This was a dude that was creeping on a come up.
The garage of her home.
What do you think? What do you guys think?
The police, they know a little bit more than us because the way they just stated, it was a targeted attack and everything like that.
Yeah, what does that mean? What does that mean, targeted attack?
That mean that dude was coming for her, I think the police know a little bit more than what they telling us. I think more so this was a personal thing, but one round, one shot, they could be understating it, or if it is one shot, I would agree with you. It seems like it'll be like a robbery attempt gone bad. But I don't know. I just feel like the police ain't telling us everything in this one. And they also said no more risk for the public and all that other shit. When they say that, they usually this
targeted.
usually means like this was like, isolated.
Dark clothing and appears to be holding a gun. The major case squad saying that as they follow up on several leads in this case, they do need the assistance of the public in getting the suspect identified. These photos could potentially be a major break in this investigation. The tragic and frightening murder unfolded early on Tuesday morning. Collinsville police responding to a home on Olive Street just after 6 a.m. following a report of gunshots in that area. When they got there, they discovered Roland lying in the driveway near the garage of her home, suffering from a gunshot wound. Tragically, Roland was pronounced dead at that scene. Authorities saying she had been shot in the neck or face area. Authorities telling our Post-Dispatch partners that Roland was warming up her car when the gunman approached. We understand Roland was a mechanic at MSD. The Post spoke with Portia's girlfriend.
She was a mechanic at NSD. I don't know what it is.
What does that mean?
She was a mechanic, so I mean, like, I don't know, could this been a disgruntled customer or something?
Could be, yeah.
Sarah Schaefer, she lived with Portia and was inside the home there when the shooting happened. Schaefer telling police she never heard gunshots or any commotion on Tuesday morning. Schaefer saying that she believed Portia was already at work when police woke her up banging on her door. Schaefer calling Portia simply the best person on earth.
Oh, so she laid
If
out
you have
for a
any
while.
information on this case, you are asked to call Collinsville Police or Crime Stoppers right away. I was just inside the Collinsville Police Department checking on the latest update. Nothing new yet this morning from the major case squad on their investigation. For now,
nothing new.
Someone said Porsche fixes vibrators.
Oh shit.
Shit. I wouldn't trust her to fix a car. Maybe not a car mechanic, but yeah, more likely a vibrator mechanic.
Damn. That's a tough one. We got another shocking one, man, in Pittsburgh.
A young child shot inside her dentist's office, and a police officer shot and rushed into surgery. The suspect at the center of the shootout with law enforcement is now dead. We do have new information to share with you tonight at 11 from right over the state line in Ohio, where Pittsburgh's Action News 4 has been staying on top of a major breaking story all night.
Our reporter Yasmin Rodriguez is in St. Clair Township, Ohio, not far from Beaver County, where gunshots were fired near multiple businesses.
It was here behind me at this dentist's office where a 4-year-old was shot and later died. Now, this comes after a shootout where police initially were called here for a man suffering from a possible mental health crisis. That ensuing into a shootout, killing the suspect and injuring one St. Clair Township police officer. St. Clair Township police say it was shortly after 2 p.m. Wednesday when they were called to the area of St. Clair Avenue for reports of a man now identified as 30-year-old Joseph Como having that reported mental health crisis. Officers attempted to speak with Como when they say he almost immediately opened fire. Officers returned fire, hitting Como. EMS and police treated Como at the scene. He was transported to a hospital where he died hours later. In the shootout, investigators say Como struck a St. Clair officer in the head. He was flown to a Pittsburgh area hospital in critical condition.
He's out of surgery. He's doing well. He's stable condition. Your continued prayers are welcomed for my officer and for the child that was involved in this as well.
St. Clair Township Police posting this video around 8:30 Wednesday, updating that officer's condition, saying he was out of surgery and stable. Now, additionally, in the shootout, a 4-year-old girl was struck by a bullet while inside this dentist office. She was flown to a hospital where she later died. Now, I did speak to a nearby neighbor who did not want to be on camera, but told me just how fast a heavy police presence was drawn just seemingly minutes after the first gunfire.
He tells me he heard what sounded like a dozen shots and yelling just moments before the many police sirens. St. Clair Police also announcing the Ohio FOP Foundation is accepting donations to cover any medical expenses for both the officer injured and the 4-year-old girl tragically killed. The names of that officer and the young girl have not yet been released. As of tonight, police have not said whether Como's gunfire or an officer's gunfire struck the child.
Now, again, this incident started shortly after 2 p.m. today, and at around 7:30 tonight, the area was clear and roads were back open. We will continue to provide updates as we get them, so make sure you stick with us both on air and online at WTAE.com for all of the latest. For now, in St. Clair Township, Ohio, Yasmin Rodriguez, Pittsburgh's Action News 4.
Yasmin, thank you.
Yeah, was Como, is that a glider? Como?
Yeah, definitely. That's Italian, man.
Man, breaks your heart. You hate to see gliders do it too.
Everybody's just shocked. Like I said, you don't expect that around here in such a tight-knit, small community.
In St. Clair Township and Calcutta, well, many people know each other. The boundary line doesn't stop friendships. Many are hurt. One of their police protectors was wounded, but glad he survived. They can't comprehend a child from Steubenville's death.
In the days since, the community is coming together to support one another. First News senior reporter Jerry Ricciuti begins our team coverage tonight.
Like most days, it's quiet in and around St. Clair Township and Calcutta. Little remains of Wednesday's incident, except for small pieces of crime scene tape outside the dentist's office. Many working at nearby businesses say they didn't realize what was happening at first.
We caught wind as the news broke, and that's when sheriffs and fire department, local area police stations started coming down. And then as we were walking in, we noticed helicopters started flying in.
Police had confronted 30-year-old Joseph Como, who opened fire as officers approached. One of the rounds hit St. Clair detective Dakota Wetzel. Although police returned fire, one stray round from the shootout hit 4-year-old Rosalie Martin, who was inside the dentist's office.
Wow.
Both Como and young Rosalie died, but Wetzel is now in stable condition at a Pittsburgh hospital after life-saving surgery. Immediately, officers from across Ohio and neighboring Pennsylvania, including both states' Fraternal Order of Police presidents, rushed to offer support for the officers' loved ones.
We all know.
Wow, that little girl got killed in the crossfire, man. That's awful, man. What can you do, man? I mean, mental health and shit, you gotta treat, man, shit, man. It's not the guy who had the mental health episode's fault. It's the cops' fault, I guess. I'm sure that's what it's gonna say. Let me do this one, man. Everybody hit the like button. Support the channel, hit the like button. Take the $5 pledge. Support the channel. Boom.
The tragic situation involving the death of a 15-year-old in Charlotte. 15-year-old Matthias Crockett was shot and killed Wednesday night. The freshman from West Charlotte High School was found inside a car in Uptown, one car that police say wasn't his. An investigation revealed the man who...
You see the picture they showing of this kid?
Yeah, don't touch on heartstrings.
Let me show you the picture. Let me show you the picture of him, that the real picture of him,
like
man.
15 years old, yeah.
This is him right here.
Yo, it's a lot different from the one earlier in the first photo.
Yeah, but it says on this one, it says 15-year-old shot and killed while allegedly trying to steal a DoorDasher's car during the delivery in Uptown Charlotte. Driver charged with murder.
Oh.
So yeah, that's what people are saying. Let's see how what's really happened, man.
The tragic situation involving the death of a 15-year-old in Charlotte. 15-year-old Matthias Crockett was shot and killed Wednesday night. The freshman from West Charlotte High School was found inside a car in Uptown, one car that police say wasn't his. An investigation revealed the man who shot him was a DoorDash driver. That person has just dropped off an order, and he came back to his car and found Crockett inside. A fight ensued, and moments later, shots were fired, and Crockett was dead. Tonight, for the first time, we're hearing from the teenager's family. Our Ron Lee has the details.
The family says they hadn't seen the teenager in 3 days. He also may have been out running with the wrong crowd. They say those two factors may have contributed to a domino effect that ended with the shooting.
That's my son that man took.
The horror of what happened that night haunts Matthias Crockett's family.
That man took.
The horror of what happened that night haunts Matthias Crockett's family, wondering over and over again how they could have brought him home and kept him from that nightmarish situation.
He didn't come home. I begged my son to come home.
The end of Crockett's life happened here along 7th Street in the 4th Ward area. Police say a delivery driver parked his car and left it running while he was dropping off food to the homeowner. It was at that point Crockett allegedly jumped into the unoccupied car. That's when witnesses tell me they heard gunfire.
I heard 3 more successive gunshots.
Police say the car's owner, 27-year-old Keyshawn Boyd, returned to find the 15-year-old in his car. The two struggled and shots were fired, leaving Crockett dead from his wounds. Boyd.
He should have just let this 15-year-old take the gun from him, man.
Yeah.
Everything would have been all right, man. Both parties could have went home if that was the case.
Was arrested and charged with the murder. The family is left to deal with the aftermath.
It's a gun. A 15-year-old baby down. Y'all need to get this stuff correct.
Crockett had just started as a freshman at West Charlotte High School, where he was on the wrestling team. His family, who didn't want to talk about what happened, said they weren't making excuses, but the shooting was not justified, especially considering the victim was unarmed at the time.
The pain that we're experiencing is
just, but I don't know that. I come back to my car. You're in my car. A fight ensues. Hey, man. Hold on, are you armed? I mean, like, what the fuck, man? Like, what? It's nighttime. It's Charlotte, a nigger fucking bastion of crime. Fuck, man. What the fuck are we talking about here? The guy's charged with murder. The guy's been charged with murder.
So they want the guy to make sure that the dude on his car is unarmed. So, like, maybe act like he is a cop.
This is insane, man. This guy's in jail.
Didn't want to talk about what happened, said they weren't making excuses, but the shooting was not justified, especially considering the victim was unarmed at the time.
The pain that we're experiencing is just kind of too much to handle.
The family sets part of the blame on the friends Crockett kept.
He would listen to them instead of listening to his mom in his ear.
But the question comes up in cases like this. How far can you go to defend yourself or your property?
The devil's in the details.
Larry Hyatt teaches gun safety classes and specifically about the rights gun owners have to defend themselves. He says it's not always as clear-cut as you might think.
If you pull the trigger on a gun, you're probably going to be in a courtroom. You're probably going to have an attorney, and it's not going to be a pleasant experience.
Yeah, that's what my brother told me, man. He got to see. If you, it's crazy, man. Like, it's just what that guy said. But the thug, that's why it's so hard to. That's why you can't compete with the thugs, because they'll pull the trigger in the heartbeat.
Hyatt tells me if your life or someone else's is in danger, you may be justified to defend yourself. But if you're just defending your property, you may end up in front of a jury. In West Charlotte, I'm Ron Lee.
So he's probably going to get off, but he's got to go through the process. He's got to go through all the bullshit. He's got to, hopefully he gets a bond. He'll most likely get a bond, a high bond, and then he'll go to court. And the struggle, maybe because of the struggle. A DoorDasher out just doing his fucking job, some fucking idiot fucking son turd. And now he's in fucking jail and he's fighting for his future. And the fucking son turd is where he would have been anyway. That son turd was headed to the grave or penitentiary anyway. So nothing. His life is on the same path trajectory that it was on anyway. Shit.
The citizens have to fight back, man.
Yeah, I don't.
Some logic is, just let them steal the car. It doesn't matter, if you got kids, you got to take to school tomorrow or another. They don't care about that.
He's 15, so it's like, you know what I mean? He's a baby. You ain't had to shoot him. When literally 15-year-olds are literally killing people all the fucking time in Blackistan, not in this country, in Blackistan. This shit is fucking crazy, man.
And they never ask the family members if what they think of him trying to jack people's car. They're not gonna do that, right?
I think they said he didn't deserve that, though, right?
He deserves to get shot in the face multiple times for trying to take other people's stuff.
Chris, thanks. Developing tonight, a man accused of breaking into a home in the West Valley is dead after the homeowner shot and killed him. The incident happened last night around 8:30 near 107th Avenue and Indian School Road. Phoenix police say when they got there, they found the 51-year-old suspect with several gunshot wounds. They say he was taken to the hospital where he later died. The homeowner was questioned and is not facing any charges at this time, but the case has now been sent over to the Maricopa County Attorney's Office for review. The name of the suspect has not been released at this time.
That guy, he's got to hope that, you know, that when they review the case, they don't charge him. Wow.
Getaway driver in a deadly armored truck heist will spend decades in prison.
A gunman shot armored truck driver Scott Bree as he filled an ATM on Capitol Drive in Milwaukee. He died 2 weeks later. 12 News' Nick Bohr is joining us live at the courthouse downtown. Nick, B's widow made a tearful request for a stiff sentence.
And it was certainly an emotional day here in court, recalling the senseless shooting of that armored car guard shot in the back as he worked to fill an ATM with cash.
Surveillance video shows an accused gunman running away from the scene of a shooting and robbery of an armored car driver as he filled an ATM at 80th and Capitol in Milwaukee in July of 2023. The man can be seen gathering.
Not one of those dollars went towards a loaf of bread, I can guarantee you. His family ate good. They ate DoorDash. They ate good. They ain't touch a loaf of bread after that shit.
You notice the field reporters are all gliders, and then the ones in the studio are the POC.
Yeah, it's too cold out there, man. We tropical people, man.
It can't take
cash he'd spilled as the getaway car drives off.
State of Wisconsin versus Colby Logan.
That getaway car driver, 32-year-old Colby Logan, in court Thursday to be sentenced in the death of the armored car driver, 55-year-old Scott B.
This is my husband, Scott B.
B's widow tearfully spoke directly to Logan.
We had plans, a future, goals, and most of all, we had love. And you took that away from each of us.
Her husband was a father of 6 grown children and grandfather of 2. Logan pleaded guilty to felony murder in B's death, as well as a string of pharmacy robberies leading up to the fatal armored car robbery. He told B's widow he regrets what he did every day of his life.
I hate that I'm associated with this, honestly. So I do apologize to you, to your family.
Logan was sentenced to.
But damn, that was pretty decent for a son, man. He hates that he was associated with this. That's about as much as you're gonna get, man. Salute, man.
He apologized, so they must let him go now. He feels sorry now.
Exactly.
Apologize for shooting him in the back. That's crazy.
I got a link for you in the private chat about Japan. Do you think we can watch that?
Yeah.
It's like a couple minutes.
Okay.
Have you seen, before you proceed to, have you seen Cam trying to threaten Whitlock and Steve Kim?
Yeah, I saw that.
A week ago?
Yeah, I saw that, man. That's
Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I like Cam Newton when he was with Carolina. He was a dog back when.
Yeah, that's old news now. I mean, Cam has made a fool of himself like 5 more times since he has the worst sports takes ever.
He is.
He's horrible
If
at his job.
if people would still say that there's no difference in IQ and in DNA, those people are just dumb because like people like Cam Newton or
Ryan
Shannon
Clark.
Sharp,
Yeah.
Ryan Clark, yes, they really have low to no IQ whatsoever.
Yeah, they
When you
get
hear
the
them talk,
worst takes. They're
yeah,
horrible.
when
I
you
mean,
hear them talk,
I like
it's like you're
Marcellus
listening
Wiley
to a
though.
child. It's
Marcellus
like
Wiley
listening
has
to a
pretty. I
child.
think he has good takes. What do you
Who?
think? Marcellus Wiley. I like him.
Marcellus?
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
Marcellus Wiley's pretty good. Yeah, he's good. But I mean, like they ran his ass off of network TV.
Same with
But yeah,
Whitlock.
yeah, they're not race baiters though. You got to be a race baiter like Acho. You got to be a race baiter to be on TV nowadays. Keyshawn Johnson. If you're not a race baiter and everything through the prism of race, you're not going to be on. But yeah, um, let's see what happened.
To your family.
Logan was sentenced to 25 years in prison, the judge not accepting his excuse.
That's it?
Of drug addiction. And B's widow told him he destroyed not only the lives of her family, but his own.
So he'll come out and start a program and be celebrated by the community. He'll get a grant, start a program. He could do 20 years. He'll be home at 52. Oh, yeah, he got plenty of time. He's going to be good. Brother, I've been where you been. Trust me, man. Yeah. Damn. This shit crazy, man. All the fucking look at all these hit and runs. God damn. All niggas, man. Jesus Christ. Let me play this video, man. If I go down that hit and run path, man, I'll never get to that video, man. Jesus Christ, man.
Sons love hit and run.
I'm telling you, they're the face. You would think it would be on burritos.
On burritos, yeah.
Our population shrinks more and more, while foreign residents keep rising and taking many important parts in a society now. More and more cities or companies say Japan wouldn't function without them, which is why people debate on this a lot.
今日本に住んでるんだったら全員参政権を与えるべきだ。当然所得税を払うでしょうし、貢献してますから。なんで高校3年生、しかも学生に与えてるのに、外国人であることを理由にして与えないのかなと。もうこれ以上の差別ないと思うんですね。絶対にやめるべきだと思います。はい。
He claims, especially nowadays, they are facing issues as much as us, and wishing that they could partner in fixing them.
日本人と一緒に、暮らしていって、社会で、あるそういう問題とかも一緒に解決していきたいなと思います。
As a society, there's growing emphasis on diversity and inclusion. Many colleges and municipalities, especially in Tokyo, try hard to include those like LGBT.
Oh shit!
That's the type of equality.
It's a disease.
And diversity.
It spreads. Yeah. And this shit, like, I don't know. I wish Fish was here. I don't know how we can pin this one on the Juice Crew. Like, let's be real. This, like, who do we pin
everything
this on?
Juice Crew's fault.
Yeah, this
is the thing, right?
Yeah,
come on, new guy. Don't do that.
Like, This is bro, this is how it starts. Like, once a group of people, foreigners, get a beachhead, it just inevitably kind of slips down this path. It's just how it works, Juice Crew or not.
Well, especially if you have two things. If you have a society that's way below theirs, where they can just basically just conquer you, or you have a society that's altruistic. So it's got to be some kind of weakness. Either you got to be weak militarily or weak like in mind. That new group that gets a foothold will always conquer you. And the Riders are weak in mind. They're not weak militarily. Or the Japanese are not weak militarily, but they are actually. They don't have a fighting spirit like they did before World War.
Used to, yeah. But yeah. I was about to say, women voting is a big problem, but this looks like all men, doesn't it?
Yeah, like their issue is in the last 80 years since World War II, they haven't had a standing army, and they haven't been like they had generations of men that fight. You know what I'm saying?
They lost their purpose to conquer China.
exactly, and they're just like, you know what I'm saying, and they have a lot of people. Don't get me wrong, they have a fucking bunch of people, but I guess they don't have enough, and they're very. I was not expecting this, man. I would have been floored maybe 4 years ago if Tomo had told me that China was going to fold to this shit.
I think
But here's the thing, though.
Japan has over 100 million people.
Yeah, exactly. So like, what the fuck are they talking about? But and it's an island too. But it's several islands. But
Yeah.
this is my thing though. If they folded, America's taking in another way. America kind of, we kind of set the trend, right? We folded a long time ago. So then Britain folded, Sweden folded, Germany folded, Canada folded, and then now it's spreading into Asia. Now that we're kind of going in the other way, maybe that will spread. You know what I mean?
Think, there's so many ways to like hypothesize. Like, we'll never really know why this fuck shit occurs the way it does. But honestly, I think kind of what you said a moment ago, just generations of men kind of not really being savages, being, fighters and stuff. And then you combine that with women voting, and then just, combine that with just indifference. Like, people live in these countries that are rich, and like they're too busy on their iPhones, and then they're not paying attention. And then shit goes left once there's like a significant beachhead that gets created.
Well, also, people get exposed to more shit, like the idea, like, let's just take trans, right? The idea of trans shit, right? If you just read that in a paper, like back in the 60s or something, you're like, what the fuck? Yuck. These fuckers out of here. But if you're inundated with it all day long on talk shows, and it can break you down. That's one of the things of the information age. You normalize it. Like, things become normalized. Like the first, like, they have fucking transgenders reading to kids. I'm talking about full on drag. I'm talking about fucking basically in fucking lingerie in a face full of makeup reading to kids, and they record it and no one gets arrested.
Yeah, it's like there's probably like a name in the German language for this, but whatever describes just the simple fact of it's way harder to like defend the Mona Lisa than it is to destroy it. Like, it's just like, if you want to destroy something, it's just easier than it is to protect it as a general rule.
Yeah, and then you're dealing with people that are good at destroying things too.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Sons are very good at destroying the good.
I said, you think it's the juice when they put it in the TV shows and movies? They kind of make it like a comedy, and then all of a sudden you start accepting it. Like, okay. Like, you remember back in the day when somebody was gay, everyone would laugh, and now it's accepted, and now they're pushing the trans stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's also that's part of it. That part of the normalization. But I mean, it's just like it went from them fighting tooth and nail for the right to get married just 10 years ago, man. Like to now, it's like they literally, before Trump came signed those executive orders the other day, they were on their way. Because if you remember the Olympics, like the two men boxers both won gold medals. They were on their way to like just. I mean, they were going to get. Trump literally saved women's spaces in sports, and they hate him for it. That's the thing about Trump that's so crazy, is that people he does things for people who despise him. He's called Hitler and spiteful and vengeful and retribution and all this stuff. But those woke women will have their spaces the integrity of their female space is saved because of Trump. Because that gender shit, that shit could. Here's the thing. Once you let the floodgates open, the floodgates hadn't opened with that. The floodgates had not yet to open with it. Once you get all these crazy men who aren't trans but just see a wave or see a fad or see something to be counterculture with, those women's spaces would have been flooded. I mean, it would have been, and then the women wouldn't have been able to do anything about it because, yeah, like you know in America, everything is done either legally in the courtroom or with a bill or a law, and none of those Democrats would have signed a law against transgender because that's their base. So it's like, wow, Trump saved women. Literally, and they call him a rapist. They call him everything in the book.
Yeah, it's like a parent saving their child for something that they don't know.
I'm telling you, man.
But this video that we're playing right now, it's a propaganda video, 100%. This is not.
Oh yeah.
The reality on the ground for sure.
Nah, they don't need people to come in there.
Look at that. But
yeah, they don't need nobody to come in there and fucking save them, man. That's bullshit, man. Those Japanese people, their society is not gonna fall apart if you don't bring in a fucking bunch of sun turds, man.
It's gonna fall apart if they bring in a bunch of fucking sun turds. That's the point. Like,
exactly.
We need the opposite of people coming in.
I have all right. I have a sorry, new guy. I have a relative. She married a Japanese Brazilian guy, but they never got the citizenship in Japan for her kids, and they are now in Brazil. So they are Brazilian, not Japanese, but they don't look Brazilian at all. They look like Layoro Machida. They don't look like Brazilian whatsoever.
The thing is though, is the largest population of ethnic Japanese people outside of Japan are in Brazil, actually.
Yes. Wow. They are Catholic. They are not atheist.
And they're I think some of them have moved back to Japan. But the main thing is, man, Japan's people across the globe, they're not like Chinese or Indians where they're all over the place. Like, they're basically almost every single one of them is in Japan. So they got one piece of land, and if they lose it, then that's one piece of land. That's it.
You remember when I told you that I have a friend who is now in the U.S. Navy a couple of days ago? He got so mad at me when I commented on his post of this Trump signing executive orders, right? And I put a comment on his post like, I'm a fan of no immigration, legal or illegal. And obviously, this is just an opinion. It's an opinion. It's not unique. Everyone has one. It's like a butthole, right? But he got so butthurt. I know that it's not going to happen. Of course, obviously, there's legal immigration process, and he spattered things that we are far right extremists. We should know how to be conservatives. Like, he knows he is the arbiter of truth of how to be a conservative just because he is now in the U.S. Navy. It's all the same. Even that's my friend. That's my friend. That's a fellow Christian friend of mine, and he is more loyal to his country, obviously, than the U.S., where he is now serving as part of the Navy. So no one really assimilates. No one really wants to accept the fact that they have to be an American to whatever.
It's impossible. It's impossible. It's humanly impossible. It really is. Like, the only people that the British were able to assimilate, bring into America, were like Germans. So it's fucking the same thing almost, practically. Like, it's close enough, right? But that's about it. Like, you have your Scandinavians, your Germans, and then your British Isles, maybe some French. You certainly have that in Canada. That's about it. That's like the founding stock.
How do you apply it to like black people in America, like the FBAs or the I don't know what they call themselves nowadays,
The
but
FBAs, they have a stock in building the United States to a degree, but the immigrants, like for example, my friend from the Philippines, he doesn't have any stock building the nation. He doesn't have the IQ. He doesn't have the metal. He
well,
doesn't have what it takes. So his loyalty will always stay with his family here
right.
in the
I
Philippines.
got you on that. But new guy, what do you think about the black slaves, the black
Okay.
descendants of slaves?
So
How do
there
they
are,
respond to that?
for one, there is one kind of unique thing that they don't have. For example, like when Indians and Patels come in to colonize your country, right? Well, this is a recent thing. And so they can communicate a lot easier with their family back home using the internet and all that shit. But some people, they never had that ability. So that actually does, I think, do some amount of work to, like, they don't like white people. But at the end of the day, like, they don't really, how they like bitch and moan about how like they, their history was taken from them and they've been like,
Yes.
cut off from their, their heritage and all that. Well, okay, but that does some amount of like lifting, I would imagine, for, giving them some amount of American identity, despite the fact that they're clearly not the same as white Americans. You see what I'm saying?
What do you think about that, eh? Does that make sense? Not really.
What?
What he just said about blacks, they able to embrace being American more because the gliders took away their son identity or their African identity.
I think sons always gonna be like um a thorn in like white people's side wherever. They're always gonna, which
Yeah,
because of the
like
tribalism.
like America don't love me kind of deal, right?
Yeah, the tribalism, some way. Even if it's not that, they're gonna find some way to
Not getting
be
enough love
tribal.
from the white man. Yeah.
Yeah, they're always
Mm,
we're just like, what I'm saying, we you got to work around us. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? You can't uh, incorporate us too much in it because of the like if you look at the IQ. So it's like you're trying to do something, like whatever you're trying to do, like that's positive or that's good or that's productive. Not even say positive, but productive. Blacks are gonna always be a thorn in your side because they're always gonna take it to the base. Like they're gonna make things, they're going in the opposite direction.
yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
I I mean, I know me myself, right? I don't know to what degree I whatever the fuck, but I know that I'm willing to die for this country. So I don't know what that means under like new guys' worldview, but I mean, it is what it is, I guess.
Sons die for this country all the time, but I mean, the Sun Collective. I'm talking about the collective. You know what I'm
Yeah,
Yeah.
saying?
so am I.
Sons die for this country, like in the military. I
Yeah,
mean, right?
yeah.
I mean,
And
yeah. I mean,
police officers,
right.
son,
Police
cops get killed all the
officers.
fucking time.
Right,
Um,
right. I think
son,
that matters.
goddamn firefighters, rescuers, all that shit.
Yeah,
But
I think that matters though. You know what I mean? I think that says a lot. You know?
see, sons are like they'll find victimhood. So like sons are even trying to make this immigration thing about them.
Yeah, so
Oh, they
I
coming,
saw
they
that.
coming for us. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah,
going they gonna come for black people next. If they, you know what I'm saying? Y'all laughing now, but they gonna come for black people next. So like, I mean, sons
yeah. You
always gonna take a childish route about it. You know
you
what
know,
I'm saying?
I heard them saying on the internet anyway. I heard them saying that they're gonna have to come to them to save them. Like the breeders are gonna have to come to some people to save them. And
Jesus
I'm
Christ!
like that like
Wow.
it's just incredible. Like the mental gymnastics, you know,
Yeah.
like the self
Sad.
importance.
Yeah.
Look at this video act. I'm sorry to cut you off. This Ahab
Yeah.
guy, right? He's talking to these Japanese people. Do they look like they need diversity? They're doing very well. They're actually doing great. Why would they need diversity?
The Jews convinced them, man. The Jews crew, man.
I don't think the younger population is having kids.
Look at this Ahab dude. The fuck.
Yeah, but having kids and needing you got 100 million people on the island, and you need to bring in some sun turd. Look, the net negative. It's a net negative.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Just have
Like,
kids. I mean, what's the problem, man? Just have kids.
whatever problem that you think you're fixing with bringing a bunch of sons to your country, you're gonna wish that was your only problem in 5 years.
If that, but I don't understand. Why not just have kids though? Like, what am I missing on that? You know what I mean?
They
Like, I
probably
don't
got
understand.
they got a society porn and all that stuff, and
Yeah.
like they got a society where the men, the women aren't like, it's like a incel society, like on steroids.
Is that so? Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The women are liberated. I mean, we've heard Fish say this a million times. Women destroy societies, all that shit, right? Like, it is kind of a fact. Like, when you have women that have full equality, they're not very concentrated on having children. And this is not just in Western countries anymore. This is in many, many countries. Like Iran, for example, has been below fertility for decades now. Like countries
Is
you
it
want.
really?
Oh yeah, the only countries that are not below, the only ones that are above fertility for the most part are sub-Saharan African ones, and then
in Africa.
a few Asian ones and Middle Eastern ones, Israel obviously, and like fucking Mongolia. But the vast majority of countries on the planet at this point are below fertility.
Did you know the average age in Nigeria? Hold on, let me look it up before I can before I say something. But
I think they were young, right? It was young. I remember. I think.
Yeah.
It was like
19?
incredibly young. No, I don't think it was that young. Like in the
It's
20s.
average is 18.1 years.
No way.
The average age.
No,
Yo, that's
how
but you know
does that
what?
make
The
sense?
funny thing about it is Southeast DC, where in the black part was like 90 something percent black in DC. It's the same thing over there. And it's violent and it's poor and it's just kind of a lot of chaos going on over there. It's the same thing. But yeah, so it's like, think about it. With the
The stream went
diseases.
down, I think. I think the stream went down.
Oh wow. Oh man.
Yeah, you gotta pause this video probably or some shit.
All right, let me see.
Yeah, it's been down for like 10 minutes. I didn't even notice.
Oh shit. Man.
Wick, your people are like below fertility too now.
Really? I had no idea. Are you kidding me?
To my understanding, I think actually in Mexico, you're below fertility. You're not contracting yet because it
Well, what
takes
about
like
in
30 years.
America?
In America, I think you may be above, but even if you are, you're like right on the brink of going below
Really?
fertility.
I had no
But
idea. I can't tell.
one of the reasons is like it takes 40 years just demographically for it to catch up and for the population to actually start contracting.
I'm gonna look into that because it's an interesting topic, and I'd be surprised if what you're saying is true, man. Because I can't tell, dude. Like when I go into a Hispanic neighborhood here, dude, like there's an abundance of children, an abundance. You know?
Yeah, but you also have to account for like when you do that, right? You see people that have children, but what about like the roughly like quarter of Umbritas that have no children, and you don't see them because they don't have children. So there's always like a hidden thing going. Like because think about it, Wicked. Out of like, do you know a single family? I don't know a single family that has children and only has one. They always have two, but keep in mind, there's going to be a significant chunk of the populace that just has none, and you don't know them or see them or anything. They're just out and about, right?
Right.
So that's kind of how the math works out. Because if like 5% of families are having three, let's say 70% of families are having two, then that leaves 25% of families having none, and so that's all it takes to go below replacement.
Right.
Yeah, you
Is it
also
back
have to
up yet?
account for women are becoming more successful. So some of those breeders are not in the breeder neighborhood anymore.
But
Yeah,
here's the
exactly.
thing: are women becoming more successful, or are
Definitely.
women being given more opportunities
Yeah.
and being protected more? Because here's the thing:
Yeah, that's true.
without bras, without tampons, without baby formula, women couldn't leave the house. Without diapers, think about without diapers and without baby formula.
Yeah, man.
Women
I
have
mean,
you can't leave the house without healthcare system. I mean, not health daycare system.
people men talk about like, oh shit, maybe if we took all this shit away from women, then they would start producing children again, and then they get called incel. But so far the only example of like a true westernized, like democratic society that's able to stay above replacement is Israel, and they're in kind of like a
Now,
unique
is that true?
situation.
Is that true
Yeah.
too? Though? So Israel is above that rate.
Oh yeah, Israel
Yeah,
is
they have a lot
far.
of kids.
They have a lot of kids. Well, keep in mind, they're fighting a literal like race war with the Palestinians in their own country. Like they're having like a breeding war. So it's a
Whoa,
pretty
shit.
unique situation, right?
That's nuts, dude. Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, if Israel was an island nation and they weren't fighting Palestinians all day, maybe they would be below fertility as well, because then there would be no, impetus or reason for people to really incentivize having children as much as they do.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna look
let
into
me
that. I'm gonna look into that.
any final thoughts, man?
A good show, man. Good show. That's it.
Salute to everybody that supported the channel, man. Salute to everybody who came on the panel, man. Same black time, same black channel. Out of here. Peace.